Hi everyone, welcome to Bandit Magic. My name is the Big Eared Bandit, and this is my channel. Today we're doing something really cool. I'm actually taking you through my process as a Mythic player at my local pre-release event for Avatar: The Last Airbender. A set which I'm really excited about. I'm a huge Avatar fan. I own the entire show on Blu-ray, and have been really looking forward to the set. It's actually a set that brought me back to Magic. I've been away from the game for the last maybe 1.5, 2 years, and if I'm being honest, don't tell anyone. Spider-Man brought me back, and I was really disappointed with that. But I was like, hey, Avatar's next month. It's a great time to stick around. So I stuck it out, and I'm really glad I did because this set is really awesome, and the flavor is really sweet, and you can tell it's a love letter to the game. Everyone that put a little bit of effort into this, it really shows, it really comes through. So today we're gonna go through my pre-release event, and I will sort of do a commentary voiceover on the event. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so something interesting about this pre-release event is that you actually had to pick a color, and they gave you your promo pack, had your promo card, and then that pack had all of the same color.
You can't knock me down.
I got the blue box, the Katara box, with the slogan that you just saw there, "You can't knock me down." And I didn't get this by choice. I got this because I signed up a little bit too late to the pre-release event, and all the other colors were gone. So I was stuck with blue, which is okay because there's actually a few cards in blue that I really like, that I really wanted to open, and I actually do. So let's see my pre-release here.
I forget the next couple lines, but then it goes.
Yeah, that's right. It's Secret Tunnel, which is awesome because it goes in any deck. So yeah, so you get your 5 play boosters, and then your 6th pack is of that color that you chose. But the pre-release card can be of any color. So your promotion pre-release can be of any, it's not pigeonholed to that color. This is the spin down die. It's actually really cool. I like it a lot. It's got the avatar symbol. It's one of the nicer spin downs, in my opinion. So here we go. Let's see what we get in our first pack. Really neat. I actually don't notice it until later, but the copy tokens are from the Ember Island production episode. So our rare is Waterbender Ascension, which is not a good rare, not what I wanted to see in blue, but it's fine. We end up being able to make use out of it. And yeah, I'll just kind of let you guys see through the cards. If you guys want to pause at any moment, feel free to pause to read the cards. I'm going to be going through these fairly quickly just because there's a lot of cards to get through. Before I actually kind of look at what I have, I like to just open the packs and organize them by color just to see how many playables I actually have. So obviously this pack is all blue. So, it means I have a lot of blue playables. But I do like to see a blue land there because it'll make it easier to splash a different color onto my blue deck if I do decide to go blue, which I'm definitely thinking about at this point. I think monocolored decks in this set are very possible and can be very good. So I'm at this point looking for more blue cards, and you see me shake that, it'll quench you there. Not because it's good, just because it's the quenchiest. These colorless lessons are good too because they go in any deck. So Zuko's Exile, is not that good of a card in it of itself, but it goes in any deck, which is nice. And then here, Waterbending Scrolls are absolutely what I want to see, especially if I'm in blue. And in here, we pull a blue mythic rare, Secret of Bloodbending, which is a card that I've been wanting to play in limited if I'm in a mono blue deck. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I saw this card in previews, and I told myself that I would only play it in a mono blue deck, and I might very well be in a mono blue deck, depending on the rest of the things that we open up. So yeah, down below in the link, I'm gonna have a Scryfall or probably Cube Cobra, just because I like the way Cube Cobra looks. I'm gonna have a deck list of the deck I end up making. I also will showcase it for you guys so you can see. I will not have a list of the entire pool that I opened, just because it's a lot of work for me to do. But you guys get to see the cards here. At this point, so we open a red rare here, Zhao the Moonslayer, um, and then we also got a foil Iroh. At this point, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna play blue red, just because we're opening some better red cards and we have a lot of red flexibility. That's kind of where my mindset is at. I'm still looking for more blue playables. I'm looking for, you know, something that will tell me that it's okay, that I will be okay to play mono blue. Um, so we get the white land cycler there. And I think we don't end up actually opening a lot of white cards. So, which is unfortunate because, I like to play white blue, and white is really good in this set. Um, so here we get another red uncommon May. So once again, just kind of the packs are telling me, hey, maybe you should play blue red, and I won't know until I actually look at the cards later. And our rare is a red white off color rare, so it's unfortunate. I think if it was a single, if it was just white or just red, I could definitely splash it. But being two colors that I'm probably not gonna be in means I probably won't get to play Uncle Iroh, which is a shame because he's a pretty solid card. Um, Especially in blue, you're able to make a lot of tokens. Um, you have a lot of small things that want to waterbend, which also means there's small things that you can give away. If you don't know, Uncle Iroh gives away his stuff, and then you get allies in return and get to put counters on them depending on how many permanents you've given away. Low and Lin Twin Tutors, I actually really like that card. I think if you have some really good nobles in your deck, that card is really good. I haven't seen too many people high on it. And then here we start opening some stuff that I really like to see. We got a Guru Patik, we got a Grand, and then once again we got a two color off color rare. Um, I think there's a possibility with enough playables that we could play like a base red deck and put our two Zuko and Iroh into the deck and then splash the other colors. Um, but, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see how many playables we get. That's a Ren and Shaw token, which is really cool. That card looks really awesome. Be awesome to open it. So there you see an Iguana Parrot. We see a good white removal there that we saw earlier. Path to Redemption. Another Grand, which is huge. Another Guru, which is huge. And an Appa, which could be playable if we go a flyer direction. And we get the Mechanist, which is an insane draw. At that point, I'm definitely thinking 100% we're in blue. We're in a base blue deck. Um, we're going to be maybe doing a blue flyer strategy because we also got Teo. So here I'll show you guys everything that we pulled here. So these are our white cards. No white rares, only 3 uncommons. And you can see not a lot of just playables compared to our blue base, which is a ton. And we have, what, three rares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 uncommons. So you can see that the blue base is looking really good. Black base, no rares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 uncommons, but nothing that really synergizes with the blue. We're looking for a draw 2 strategy with blue black, and we don't have that. Red, you can see it's a little bit bigger. We get 1 rare and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uncommons, and that hybrid card is practically a blue card, so we could definitely play that. And then green, no rares and not a lot of cards, and 1 uncommon. And Flopsy is a really good card, but nothing else to play with it. And then we have our Secret Tunnel, which goes in any deck, and definitely will go in our deck. And then these are our 2 off-color rares that you could see, like in a red deck, maybe we could splash them, but we don't really have the lands for that. If we had a blue-red land, I would maybe think about it, but we do get 3 blue lands, which is really awesome. We get 2 of the white blue lands, and then 1 of the blue green lands, and then these are our colorless spells. None are amazing, but definitely some lessons in there which are important. So this is the deck. I will also put up on the screen probably just like better graphics of the cards so you can see it. So I'm going to go through the strategies here. So this is our aggressive strategy here. This is cards that when they get tapped, meaning either water bending or being aggressive with them with swings, they grow bigger, and you also benefit off of them. Water bending Ascension lets you draw cards when you get in for contact, and Katara grows when she is tapped. And Secret Tunnel and Waterbender Ascension let you go unblocked. This is my flyer strategy in the deck. So we have the Mechanist that makes your artifacts into 3/1 flyers, and then these are our artifacts or ways to make artifact in the deck. He also makes an artifact. He makes a clue token anytime you cast a non-creature spell. So he's insanely good. And then this is our flyer strategy. Not only does the Mechanist make flyers, um, but I also got the Mechanist son Teo, who lets you essentially connive on a target creature anytime a flyer gets in for damage. So those are all our cards that do flying damage. We got two Grands and two Gurus, which means we should probably be focusing on lessons a little bit. So that was my third and final strategy for my blue deck is lessons. So we have two Lost Days, which is not the best removal spell, but you also get a clue token off of it, which is really awesome. We have two Quenches, which will help us hopefully stifle some curve outs from our opponents, and then we have our bomb, Secret of Bloodbending, which is really awesome. And then, like I mentioned, non-creature spells trigger our Mechanist. All right, so before we hop into our game, leave a prediction down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think we go. This is a best of three matches event Swiss style. So I played 3 opponents, each in a best of 3. Let me know if you think I went, 0-3, 2-1, 1-2, or 3-0. And I'll let you guys know at the end how I did. I'm only going to show you footage from one of the best of 3s because I ran out of storage for the other games, so I actually don't have that footage. But either way, it'll keep the video shorter. Just one more time, this is a more clear look at the deck. Here you can see our 3 lands. These all tap for blue, so it doesn't hurt to have them. We have 1 Appa in the deck, so the 2 North Pole Gates is really good for that. They also sack and draw a card, which you're not going to complain about in limited on a land. And then we had 2 planes and our Secret Tunnel, which is really good. Really good flavor on Secret Tunnel. 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type, can't be blocked. A little restrictive if you don't have that, but there's a lot of allies. I have a lot of humans in the set. I have 2 Iguana Parrots for that reason, in case I ever needed a name Lizard Bird Pirate, because that's our favorite creature type, right everyone? Lizard Bird Pirate. So yeah, you can see the deck does 3 things really well. It really likes lessons and non-creature spells. It really likes flyers, and it really likes water bending. Actually, it doesn't like water bending that much, but yeah, it does a lot of really good stuff. The most consistent way that this deck played out was actually through the flyers. I was able to get the Mechanist out a lot, and he was really good. I have enough non-creature spells in this deck for the Mechanist to do his thing, and Flavor Wind Teo, his son, would really get us value on those flyers. So some really good stuff. 2 Gurus is probably too many. I don't think I have enough lessons for that. I had 1 game, I think I actually do have footage of that, but I have 1 game where I played him twice off of Airbending from Appa, and I looked for 10 cards essentially. I did this twice, so looked at the top 5 and then looked at the top 5 again later, and 10 cards deep I didn't find a single lesson, so that's probably on me. I actually probably didn't have enough lessons on there. I only have 4, which is my Bloodbending Bomb, my 2 Lost Days, and my 2 Quenches. So yeah, I think I probably could have cut 1 Guru for an extra lesson there. But yeah, my non-creature spells felt really good. Lost Days played really well in this deck specifically because it makes a clue and it removes your creature, at least permanently, enough time for my flyers to get in. Ember Island Production saved me one of the games as well. What else? Bloodbending. I casted it twice. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of when I casted Bloodbending. But both times that I played Bloodbending, I won the game. So perfect card for a mono blue deck. Waterbender Scroll, Waterbending Scroll drew me a ton of cards in a mono blue deck. You can imagine a lot of the times I was just tapping this for 1, 2, or 0 mana to draw a card. And yeah, that's kind of the deck. Grand did her thing. Blasting Jelly was actually really good in this deck because it's 1, a non-creature spell, 2, an artifact, which the Mechanist can turn into a 3/1 flyer, 3, it filters mana, so it makes it just a little bit easier to cast my 1 white card Appa. And then 4, it also served as a removal spell. And I think throughout my pre-release, I was able to use Barrels of Blasting Jelly in all the ways that I described. Like it benefited me multiple times from the 5 ways that I just described that, or 4 ways, whatever it was, that I described how it went. So yeah, this is the deck. We're gonna go ahead and hop into a best of 3 in person, and you guys will get to see how it performs with some commentary. Comment down below how you think I do in the event. I'll let you know at the end. Alright, so we are looking at game 1 here. This is my opening hand. It's a really good curve out. Barrels of Blasting Jelly into, it'll quench ya into our Mechanist turn 3. So we get to go 1, 2, 3. That's kind of the hope there. I draw an island for my second draw. Not great. Kind of flooding already. We got 5 lands and only 3 spells. But here, no matter what he was going to play, I was just going to quench it. He plays a creature, so it's a great trade there. We trade our counterspell for a creature. We draw a Teo, which just makes our curve even better. So here we get to go turn 3 Mechanist, which means we're set up for a huge turn 4 where we can play Teo, animate our Barrels of Blasting Jelly, and get the trigger off of Teo. So as long as he doesn't play a flying blocker or something with reach, we should be able to do that. So here we wait for his 3-drop. He actually ends up playing Momo, which is a flyer. It's a 1/1, but that doesn't really matter because it's a 1/1 rare, which I know he will not trade for our 3/1 artifact. So yeah, here we cast Teo so we can get that trigger on the attack step. So we will go ahead and animate our Barrels of Blasting Jelly into a flying 3/1 construct, and I go in and swing because I know he's not going to block with Momo, and if he does, that's a great trade for us. We'll trade our 1-drop artifact. He doesn't block. We get an attack trigger. We draw an Iguana Parrot, and we discard a land, so we don't get a counter, but we did get to draw a creature, which is great. Here I skip a little bit, skip to the next turn. We ended up drawing a Lost Days off the top deck, so that's what's in our hand here. I am trying to decide whether I want to cast the Iguana Parrot. I don't. I just end up swinging with both the Construct and the Teo. He doesn't block here, so he takes 4 damage, and we get to trigger Teo one more time. We draw a Secret Tunnel, and now I'm deciding if I want to keep the North Portal Gates for an Appa in the future. And I decide that I'm actually going to bin the tap land because I want an untapped land to be able to hold up 5 mana to remove whatever he plays as his 4-drop. So I end up not playing the Iguana Parrot. He casts Cycle of Renewal. He actually asked me if I want to counter it. I say no. He's kind of upset. You know, it's not fun to play against mono blue. I'm not a mono blue player. This is just what I had to build. Even if I had a renewal spell, I would not waste it on my on my turn on a spell where he ramps. So here his 4-drop is another rare, Vigilant Zookeeper. I read the card and I'm like, wow, that's really cool, man. That's a nice card. That's perfect for your Lemur Bat because he'll get +2/+2. And he passes his turn and I go, okay, great, I'll remove your rare. And he actually scoops. So that's game 1. All right, we're here with game 2. Yeah, so our opening hand, 4 lands once again with a Lost Days, an Iguana Parrot, and a Mechanist. So it doesn't really curve out. But we do have a Secret Tunnel, which is great. Great to see our rare land in here. And our first draw is a land, so just more land. We go ahead and play our tap land turn 1. Kind of an easy play here. And I'm just trying to figure out at this point, if I don't draw a 2-drop, which I don't, I drop another. I draw another Lost Days. I'm trying to figure out who I want to play first. Opponent's not really doing much either. He's playing lands and passing. So here I'm thinking I want to slow roll my Mechanist. I'm actually going to play my Iguana Parrot first, just in case he has any sort of removal. I don't want my rare to be removed, so I'd rather play the Parrot first, kind of get a feel for what he's doing. He plays a 4th land, and I don't remember. He must play a 4-drop. No, he passes the turn, so you can see opponent doesn't really do anything. We draw Appa, which is good, but now we need that second plains in order to cast him. So we swing in the air, Flying Vigilance. hit him for 2. And at this point, there's no point in just passing the turn. We're going to play our Mechanist. If he has a removal, he has one. Nothing we can do. He ends up not having anything. So here I skip before a little bit. He ends up casting a Badger Mold the turn before. We end up responding with a Lost Days to put him second from the top. And we make a clue token off of the Mechanist. I actually miss a trigger here after this resolves. When I casted that spell, I should have made a clue token immediately off of the Mechanist trigger, and then when the spell resolved, I should have made a second clue token off of the Lost Days. Um, and I just missed that. So I ended up making only one clue when I should have had two. So I'll swing with two more in the air here. He'll go down to 15 because of the prowess trigger on the parrot. So here, let me catch you up. A few turns have passed. He ended up casting a Glider Kids into a Rocky Rebuke into killing my parrot. I then played my Grand, and then I swung in the air with my Flying Chancla, my clue, my 3/1 clue flyer. So he's down to 12. Um, he ends up here casting a Badger Mole, as you can see. So he ends up putting another two counters on his previously Earthbended land. So now he has a land that's a 4/4. And he's going to start swinging here. And I actually end up Lost Days targeting the land, which is perfect because it gets around both the die and exile um, rules on the land. And here I don't forget to make the two clue tokens. I get one on the cast trigger and on the Lost Days resolving. So, and then I take the two in the air. Then he plays Momo once again. So he's got blockers, but he's, our clues trade perfectly with his 2/3 flyer, Glider Kids, and his 1/1 Momo. Here we draw Guru, which is great because it'll let us find more lessons. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So here we do have just enough mana to cast the Guru and also have enough to crack clue tokens. So here we cast our Guru. We get to look at the top 5, looking for a lesson, saga, or shrine. Of course, we only have lessons, and we miss. We end up seeing some really good cards that we can't draw. So we, we fail to find, and we put these at the bottom, which is really sad because that Benevolent River Spirit and that Parrot could have done some really good work on this board. Even the Watery Grasp would have done a great job tapping down that flyer of his, not allowing him to block. So, unfortunately, we miss, but we still have our Mechanist that can throw some flying chanclas in the air. So we animate our clue and we send it, and he actually blocks with Momo. So Momo takes a chancla to the face and dies. And here I missed the trigger. I could have sacrificed the token in response. But you know what? It's fine. We killed Momo. So here we skip a few more turns forward. He all you missed is that he swung with the Badger Mole, which is why we took 4. We did draw our second Plains though in that next turn, so this will allow us to cast Appa. So first we swing with the Flying Chancla, have him go down to 9. He doesn't block with the Glider Kids. And then second main phase, we tap 6 mana to cast our big beautiful Bison ally, who will actually end up airbending when he enters. And we have just enough mana to airbend Guru and then pay the 2 cost to recast them and trigger another ETB. So here we get to look at another 5 cards, and guess what? Nothing. No lessons. Just another Guru and a Teo and a bunch of lands. So, yeah, believe it or not, we looked at 10 cards and couldn't find a single lesson. So, I think that's more on me on the deck building there. I probably got to put more lessons in there. Here we skip a few more turns. He plays a John Deserter and puts a counter on the Glider Kids, which now makes him able to block our flyers. And he also swings with the Badger Mole. So, yeah, it's looking a little bit scarier now. Especially because we're not really drawing good cards. We just drew a little Quenchia, which won't do much in this board, this late in the game. So here we activate the Secret Tunnel, actually. And I'm trying to figure out what the best attack is here. We could, Appa's an ally, so we could make Appa and Gran Gran and Guru are humans. We can make Gran Gran and Guru unblockable. I end up settling on making our two humans unblockable. So Gran Gran and Guru are gonna be unblockable, and I'm gonna have Appa go in the air because the glider kids cannot block Appa without dying. It's only a 3/4, and Appa's a 4/4. Um, and I also end up throwing the 3/1 flyer because frankly, I don't care if our clue token dies here. I'm just trying to be as aggressive as possible. He can't kill me on the crackback because I'm presenting lethal damage here, and yeah, we draw another It'll Quench Ya, which is so useless at this point. Just we don't need this. Um, if we had one more land, if we had 4 mana, maybe because we could cast both of them. Especially with what you're about to see, it would have been awesome to cast both of the quenches. We only had 2 mana. Um, so here he actually destroys Appa with Airbender's Reversal, and he blocks the clue with the Glider Kids. So we end up losing 2 creatures. We kind of get blown out here, but he still takes 3 damage, putting him down at 6, which puts him 2 off lethal from either the secret tunnel or our flyers being able to get in. So here we have no more footage, but essentially what you need to know is that we win the game by casting Waterbender Ascension, which makes one target creature unblockable. So we're able to make the Mechanist constructs unblockable, and then in 2 turns we kill them. Also, we could have made, with enough mana, we could have made Secret Tunnel. We could have activated the tunnel to make the 2 humans unblockable, which would have been 3 damage, and then we get the other 3 from Waterbender Ascension to make it a total of 6 to end the game. So fortunately, we're able to win there. Yeah, and then the next 2 games are not as good. The first game that we play after this one is man, the opponent just curved out so nicely. He had a go white strategy that usually consisted of casting Toph on turn 3, which made an earthbended land. So now you get 2 creatures for the price of 1. After already probably casting a 2-drop at that point, then he would play Southern Air Temple on turn 4, giving all his creatures +1/+1 with counters. So his creatures would just really grow, and Toph would grow exponentially there. And then he would bring in Flopsy as a big finisher, which would put +1/+1 counters on all his creatures again. So, by turn 6, when he would curve out, I was looking at a board state that I could not do anything about, and my deck was just a little bit too slow. So yeah, the green-white counter aggro deck really destroyed my mono blue deck. He also had some really insane combat tricks that blew me out. He had an Enter the Avatar state, which more importantly gave his creatures lifelink. He had a big swing where he pumped the creature and gave it lifelink, and it put him at 30. He also had Pillar Launch, which was really efficient, 1 mana. Give it +2/+2, reach and untap it. This was perfect for my flyers. He would, just kill them that way. And then he also had some Rocky Rebukes in there to just get rid of all my threats. So, just nothing I could do. He beat me 2-0 clean. So then game 3, we ran into another opponent that just had a nuts deck. I mean, a really good synergy. It started with Obsessive Pursuit, followed by Pirate Peddlers, and then followed by Heibai, Spirit of Balance. Just a 2-3-4 curve out, which really grew his creatures to be really big with the sacrifice permanent synergy. He had like an 8/8 Pirate Peddler and a 5/5 Heibai. Luckily, I was able to cast Ember Island Productions on the Pirate Peddler, which is not very good, but what it does is that it gives me a copy of his creature that's a 2/2, but it also has Death Touch, so it allowed me to wall off his really big 8/8 Pirate Peddler. And then that bought me enough time to use my Waterbending Scroll to just draw cards. I had a lot of lands by this point. I had at least 5 islands. Eventually I got to 6 islands, which just let me draw for free. And that led me to finding Secret of Bloodbending, and when I casted that, I just won the game. I was able to tap his lands and not swing with his creatures. It bought me just enough time to be able to get in there with my flyers and my unblockable creatures to win the game. So yeah, that ended up being the 3 games. We ended up going 2-1. So if you guessed 2-1, congratulations, you win. Not this on screen. This is what I won. Well, I only won the 2 packs. I didn't have self-control. I actually bought the bundle box as well. That was my reward. So yeah, if you guessed 2-1 for our record, you are correct. We went 2 out of 3. We ended up having 4 total wins and 2 total losses. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I plan on dropping a lot more Magic content, and if you enjoyed what you saw today, you're going to see a lot more of that. So thank you for watching. You guys have a good day. Enjoy Avatar. It's Friday. Go to your local game store and do some drafts. Take care. Bye-bye. That's been Bandit Magic.
I think we'll just stick with flying.